Bitcoin has been pumping this last week. It's all the way up to 76K currently. It wicked all the way up to 78K. This is a sign that there's strength in the market right now. And if you watched my previous video, you know that I have limit orders set at around 60K, 51, and 45. Now, price keeps basically running away from my limit orders. So I have some decisions to make in this video. And that is what I'm going to be talking about today, is how I'm reacting to what's going on, what decisions I'm making, what signs are there in the charts that I should stick with my strategy, what signs are there that I should change it. That is what today's video is about. Let's get straight into it. So in my last video, I talked about the limit orders I have set. I have around $6,000 in limit orders ready for lower levels. And basic thesis was that Bitcoin had maybe one more leg down, maybe another 10-20% drop from the current 60K bottom. And so we have our limit order set for that specific reason. And then obviously we have a regular DCA. So we're prepared for downside, but Bitcoin's just been pumping. It's been going up. It wicked all the way up to 78K. It's currently, as of recording, it's around 76K. And this is basically due to certain headlines, certain large buyers, institutions. It's also due to the news with Iran using Bitcoin for oil transactions or letting tankers through the strait. Now, all of this is important, but my fundamental thesis is that it's short-term noise, because as much as these things can pump the price, equally you could hear another news headline tomorrow that drops the price. So as much as I want to chase this pump and say, you know what, strategy's buying a bunch, Iran's now using it, institutions are starting to create products around it, I think the wise thing to do right now is to not let any of that sway me from the actual strategy I planned out. Because when making any investment decision, I don't do it strictly off what the news says, what this headline says, because that's a never-ending game. Like, if you invested strictly off what one company reports, Bloomberg has this media headline about Bitcoin's going to this price or it's dropping to this, like, you're never going to win. You're always going to have something new to chase, some headline to distract you. So I'm literally in the mindset of, like, in one ear out the other. It's cool to see the data, see what's going on, strategies buying X amount. It's important, but, like, at the end of the day, that's not how I make my decisions. Now, something very important to say is that if I am wrong, the only intelligent thing to do is to accept that I'm wrong and alter my strategy. So if we see consistent bid from strategy and we see ETF inflows at super high levels, then that data, if the price responds positively and we see a push up to 80, 90K, 100, just based off what strategy is doing or what the ETFs are doing, then I will take that into the future as a more valid metric. Like, it would be dumb of me to not take that information if it's proven to have a certain effect. So what I'm trying to say is, over time, we need to look at all the data. And if one thing time and time again seems to have a certain effect on the price, or it seems to purport a certain result, then you need to go with what the data says. It's not an ego thing at the end of the day. You can't be investing, especially in Bitcoin, and think that you know everything. You need to do what the data says and adjust as time goes on. Now, I've kind of yapped a bit about my philosophy on investing and why being adaptive to the information is important, but right now I want to show you exactly what I'm looking at and why I'm not necessarily swayed by the news headlines and all of that stuff. So I'm going to pull up the charts. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, and I'd suggest checking out my Bitcoin bottom scorecard video where I outline all the metrics. It'll be in the description if you want to watch it. Now, the scorecard, currently we have three indicators that have signaled a bottom. And I go into a ton of detail as to why these signal that bottom, or at least why I'm using them. And so far, we've had the Gaussian channel flip red. I can show you it here on the weekly. Crypto Fear and Greed Index. It was at a low of about, I think it was like 5 to 10 not too long ago. And then we had a touch of the 200-week moving average. Let me turn, oh, that is not it. Close to a touch. So in those aspects, we can see that there are signs that a bottom is in, and that's definitely something to pay attention to. But most importantly, what I'm seeing and why I'm not necessarily gonna switch up my limit orders or do anything different is because when Bitcoin is typically trending down, we see somewhat relief rallies. So I can kind of explain it like this. Like when we see a large sell-off, we typically see a rally that looks something like that. And then we have a large, another leg down, and then we have another relief rally. And then you can see this is a common trend when Bitcoin's falling, is we have these large sell-offs and then a period of relief, another large sell-off, period relief, and it's kind of this ebb and flow. And a lot of people have explained and said this, and this is something I see as well, is that when Bitcoin's trending down, it tends to move up for periods, but the overall trend is down, and it's vice versa. Is when price is going up, you'll see trends downward in the shorter term. And basically what we've seen here is as price goes up, we see price hit highs, retrace, something like that. Now this isn't perfect, and I'm just drawing arrows on a chart, so it's not like take this as gospel or anything. But what we're seeing now is, since we had our top in October, is we'll see slight relief rallies just like this. Now, the overall trend is still downward. So until we have a break past this higher high, which is around 100K, or if we break above the 80K level, I think that's more credence as to the price is actually just reversing from here, and 60K might have been the bottom. But in terms of the fundamental trend, we're still in a downtrend. It hasn't broke any key support or resistance. And realistically, if we want to take this as a previous support level right here, oh shit, I didn't know I could do that. And then we take the wick up to here, we can see that it actually wicked to that prior support, and it's now holding as resistance. So we will see as time goes on. The week is about to be over, but for the next couple of weeks, we'll look out for this, see if the resistance level holds, and then if it holds, if we struggle to get above, let's just say 80K, if we reject off 80K, then there's no reason to really say that we're in the next bull market or it's going up from here. So that's basically what I'm looking at, and it lends credence to nothing's really changed. It's just news, right? Now, if you've been following along, you'll know that in every video I show exactly what my portfolio looks like. But right before we get into that, I wanted to mention that I buy all of my Bitcoin through an IBIT ETF, and I buy it through Wealthsimple. I'm a Canadian, so I use a Canadian bank, and I seriously suggest Wealthsimple. So not just to you guys, I'm not trying to just push something. I suggest it to friends and family and everything because it's one of the best banks I've ever used. So if you are interested in opening a new account or starting your investing journey, I do have a link in the description so you can sign up to Wealthsimple, and then it obviously supports the channel. And because this is a Bitcoin channel, I want to also say I do have a link to Trezor. Trezor is what I use personally to hold my Bitcoin in cold storage. If you're looking for a cold storage device, once again, in the description, there will be a link. It really helps the channel. So if you're looking for something like that, you know where to find it. Now for the portfolio update. So what we have here, our account, remember we started with 10K, so we're up $174. So we currently have around $1,750 invested. We're at a profit of $174, and then we have around 8,200 in cash that is in either a limit order or just sitting in my cash balance. So once again, week to week, not much has changed. It does feel good because I'm up, but if we're looking at it long term realistically, I would rather actually be in the red right now because then I can buy at a discount. But it is what it is. You can't control the charts. My DCAs are obviously doing well, and the strategy is solid, so that's what counts. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. I'm doing my best to make these videos weekly and try and share something interesting and hopefully educational. So if you found this educational, useful, or just want to follow the journey where I turn this into 100K, subscribe, leave a like on the video, and leave some comments. I want to know what you guys are doing in these times. So thank you for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.